Hi, I'm Mike Crabb.
And I'm Laurie Schultz. Welcome to the show.
We'll have some caffeinated conversation.
And maybe some special guests along the way.
Who knows where the conversation will go? You're out for coffee with Mike and Laurie. Hello, everyone, and welcome out to coffee
with Mike and Laurie.
Hi, Laurie. How are you?
I'm good, Mike. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
We're so happy to have everyone join us today for our first... No, this isn't. We've had other things going on. This isn't our first episode. It feels interesting because today is the day that it's our 1 year anniversary of episodes.
Yeah.
So that's what's firing in my head right now. That's why I'm so excited. And it's cool that we get to spend today doing what we love best, which is spend some time together.
This is what we love best.
Right?
Best.
Out
of everything in the world, spending time with you, Mike, is what I love best.
Okay. No sarcasm. I didn't get that. So we're good.
That's good.
I love spending.
I love you, Mike.
Love you too, Laurie. And we love you guys for joining us because today we have a special treat. We're here with a special guest. Who are we with today, Laurie?
We are literally out for coffee today with our good friend, Photographer Rachael Little.
Hello, Rachel.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for having us today.
I'm very happy you came.
We're at Rachel's house.
Yeah. And so Rachel lives here in Woodstock, and she runs Rachael Little Photography, and her studio is right here in her home. And we thought we love your work because I've had family members that have come to you for your services, and your art is beautiful. And so we thought, let's talk.
Yeah.
And let's maybe have some fun and get to know a bit about you and your business. So.
I've been following you guys for a while too. I've been like a super fan, Mike and Laurie.
Oh, well, thank you. That helps.
We were in the market for a new stalker, so this is great.
Yeah. I know like everything about you.
Everything?
Oh, God. So how's the therapy going then?
It's going very well. Baby steps.
So thank you for having us in here today because you've been, how long have you been doing photography?
I've been doing it for 10 years-ish, give or take. I started a little bit before I started my business, but before this I did film, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did you go to school for?
That's what I went to school for.
Was film?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about that quick. Like what kind of experience do you have in that? Like what?
Oh my gosh. So I started at Rogers doing like TV production. Like I'd be like they called me the action cam for the hockey games.
That's cool.
Cam.
And now over to the action cam. It's Rachael Little.
So I was the one that followed the puck, and I remember I wasn't all that great at it. I'm not. If you know me, I'm not very good with sports and stuff like that. So thinking back, it's actually kind of ridiculous that they put me on that job. But I was like the main camera, so I'd go back and forth. But luckily, it was like I guess it'd be junior C hockey, so it wasn't. Am I getting that right? Junior C? I know nothing about hockey.
Don't ask me.
Yeah, I don't know either. It was the slower paced hockey.
Okay.
So I didn't have to move as fast.
Okay.
And then I really liked it. So then I applied to go to school for television.
Thanks.
And then went to school for that at Niagara. And then there was a film program there that I could switch over to. So I really enjoyed the movie side of things. So I went that direction instead.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so then what inspired you to want to start getting into photography?
We kind of learned it a bit in school. But then I ended up not doing that professionally. I like worked in Toronto for like a little bit at a film production. They made commercials and stuff like that, which is kind of fun. Yeah.
Infomercials?
Well, not infomercials, but just like regular old commercials. We did like the Bay and like Canadian Tire. We did like a Neo Citron ad.
Oh,
that's cool.
I remember somebody dressed up as like a lemon. It was really weird. And
that was just me, Rachel.
You were just downtown Woodstock.
Walking the neighborhood.
I get that confused sometimes. Yeah, so we did that, and then I left it because I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. I was like the coffee person, which is kind of funny.
Okay.
I like get treats and coffee for people, and then I decided, okay, I'm gonna go and get like a real job. Right. So I went and worked in like a corporate environment for a bit.
And then
I was in I managed a staffing agency for like a long time.
Okay.
And then I decided I wanted to get back into more creative stuff. So
right.
Yeah. So I left and started I kind of picked it up as a hobby along the
Okay.
way. And then it's like, I should make this my job. I like it. So
Well, and I've heard that actually, you know, a lot of people do go to school for photography and stuff like that, but often people do take it up. They do it because they love it as a hobby, and
Yeah.
that's strictly what it is. But then they have such a passion for it, and as you practice your hobby, you get stronger at
Yeah.
it, and then they sometimes tend to grow and adapt into like proper photography.
that's exactly what happened. Yeah.
Fun fact,
Yeah.
little known fact, I had my own photography business many years ago.
What?
It was called the Smiling Goldfish Pet Photography.
Pet photography.
I did pet photography.
You'd be amazing at pet photography.
Well, thank you. That's basically just running around my house now taking pictures of everything my pets do. But it actually started, oh God, maybe 2000-ish,
Yeah.
way back then.
Nice.
And then I moved into weddings.
You did weddings?
I did weddings for
That
a
is,
while.
I can't do
and
weddings.
I can't do them either.
They're so tiring.
Sorry to everyone whose wedding I did.
Yeah.
No, it's just it's too much work and a lot of pressure because
It's
there's no
intense.
retakes at a wedding. That's
Right.
it.
You got
the-
one
the-
shot.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and you want it to be perfect because they want it to be perfect,
Yeah.
and there's nothing more exciting than waiting to see the photos from your wedding, right? Like that's
Right.
such a moment.
I
So
always cry at weddings. Like I'm embarrassing. So I did shoot like a second shoot weddings for a while, and I remember like get misty eyed like
Oh.
going to take pictures. It's so embarrassing. You're like focus, Rachel, focus. Like
all the pictures
Yeah.
are blurry because you actually can't see.
Right.
But I did it with my friend Andrea.
Okay.
She did a lot of the formal posing
Right.
shots, and I did all the candid stuff.
That's
Okay.
So everybody
awesome.
they got two photographers for one day, and it was fun. Children at weddings are not my favorite part of the wedding.
No,
No,
that's like my favorite part.
no.
They was dance.
I think kids at a wedding ceremony is adorable for the flower girl and ring bearer and stuff. But when it comes time to like party and like the drinking starts and stuff, it's like
I was
yeah.
talking more about the ceremony part.
oh
Well, a lot of times when you've got the really little kids,
Yeah.
by the time that happens in the ceremony, that should be traditionally nap time for these
yeah,
kids
it is.
in the afternoon. And then you got kids who don't want to walk down the aisle or who are all, grumpy pants and like throwing temper tantrums.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, but you gotta stand over here for just a minute. I'm not standing anywhere. I'm like,
Now, as a person that's
Okay.
just attending the wedding and not having to wrangle anyone together, that sounds amazing. Because I always love when that kid like gives up halfway down the aisle and they're like,
It's pretty cute.
face
Yeah.
first and down the aisle, and I'm like, this is your photo.
or full
Guys.
tantrum in the
Sorry.
middle of the
Yeah.
aisle. Or, yeah.
Yeah, I was actually just talking to a friend yesterday about when I did her family pics, and her toddler at the time had enough. That was it. But we were only like half an hour into what we were doing.
Oh no.
And every picture is this kid with just,
Crying.
tear-streamed face and just, teddy bears everywhere. And either there's tears or there's goldfish in the mouth.
Oh, the goldfish are
The goldfish crackers.
That's-
Like, you're
that
not
could-
getting a smiley picture from this kid. Sorry. This is
Oh.
what's happening. And so I don't do photography anymore. My nerves just couldn't take it
It was too
anymore.
much.
Now it's just my dog who's following Meatloaf around with the camera and Uncle Harry.
And your phone is full.
This is not even a joke. I actually pay for extra storage
I do
through
too.
Apple.
Yeah.
I think the last count was over 30,000 pictures on my phone.
How many of those do you like actually go back and look at?
All of them.
See, like,
It's not hoarding if you really, really like them. If you need them.
you need them.
I need them.
Well, maybe one episode we just do a deep dive into your 30,000 photos
A
and
dump.
see what is hidden in there.
I would so
Wouldn't
love
that
to
be
see
cool?
that.
Rachel
That'd be
over.
hilarious.
We'll hook it up to a MacBook or something and we'll just scroll. You got 4 hours? All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Anyway.
We can do a little cleanup too. Like if there's anything you want to delete.
There you go. Yeah, you can
Rachel
double
can
do
help.
a-
Yeah, we'll bring
a purge.
Rachel in as the expert.
We'll get it down to 29,998
I'm really good at
photos.
that. Yeah.
I can part with 15. That's it.
That's it.
So, like Laurie mentioned, there's like the candid photography and the post photography. Do you do both? Is there one that you prefer?
I really like candids. Yeah. When I did weddings, I was, like I said, a second shooter, so I would always do the candid part too.
Sounds like an assassin.
It does sound bad.
Rachel
Oh my
standing
gosh.
on the grassy knoll. I'm the second shooter.
Second shooter.
Where were you on November 22nd,
I was at a wedding, I promise.
1963?
How did you know?
Just a hunch.
Because I would imagine the candid photography is natural and but like also challenging because it's like, oh, I'm sure you get so close to having a perfect shot, but if their head was just turned a little bit more to the side and stuff, or
I find like the secret of candids is that you actually are kind of posing through the candids too.
Okay.
So you're like, a lot of people don't know that you're actually kind of like putting them in a good position for light. So you want your family to be like in the optimal conditions for candids to happen.
okay, so you're like, here we are, we're in this
Yeah.
area, here's what I need you to do. Now you guys just be yourselves for a moment
Yeah.
while I hang out over here. Okay, that actually sounds very
So it's
organized.
structured.
Yeah,
Candid.
it's actually pretty structured. And like you make the conditions right for children too. So like when you said like sometimes you'll have like the goldfish crackers, like we do all sorts of like easy prep work that makes it a little bit more fun on the day of. And then, you know, even kind of scheduling around nap times. Like I tend to do shoots in the morning because 11 a.m. is a good time for both the light and the kids are usually a little happier. And
Yes.
Right.
yeah, so we do all that prep work. And then when you show up, the idea is you just play and have fun and enjoy each other's company, and makes it a lot more pleasant to get the photos done too.
Right.
You're not like torturing yourself to get them.
Well, and then even for the family, like kids remember when they have a bad time too. So it's like if they ever do it again, it's like you want it to be a memorable and fun experience for them.
And you don't want to hang a photo on your wall and be like, remember when we had that horrible time at the photo shoot? So yeah, it's important that it's fun too. But
they're authentic too when they're candid like that. Because there's nothing worse than seeing people's pictures in their frames in their homes, and everyone is just, you know, ear to ear smiles that, you know, that person doesn't even smile like that. But it's like, okay, cheese. And it's like, you guys all look like psychopaths in this picture. What's the matter with you? Like that's not
There's
real.
something awesome about those two, but it's for totally different reasons.
Very different reasons. I like those to pick them apart.
Yeah.
But if I wanted basically my family photos are all like that. We all look insane. But I like the candid stuff a lot.
I do too.
And I know when we do our little live shoots and stuff, and when we get together, I'm always taking pictures of things. So we have that, like the behind the scenes stuff for our own stuff. And then it's real. You don't remember it happening because sometimes nobody even sees me taking the pictures. But like, oh yeah, I remember when that happened. But you want authenticity in your photos.
It's nice too when you describe that, like when you find a gem of a photo that you didn't know somebody else took of you like that. It's so exciting.
Right.
Like from behind the scenes stuff or just
as long
in
as the
general.
angles are good.
As long as
I was very nervous today because I got a giant German head. And I'm like, Rachel,
I got so many Facebook messages.
So important. The angle has to be so. None of these from below shots looking up, okay? Because I don't need to look like Pizza the Hut.
I said to you though that like I feel like I have a pinhead, so I feel like I have the opposite problem. I'm always like trying to make my head look
bigger. You got like big hair and like
really big Dolly Parton hair or something. Yeah,
and I'm trying to smooth mine right now. I told Rachel it'll just look like Bert and Ernie.
Totally.
Pinhead and my big one.
I think we should get a Bert and Ernie selfie of me and you.
I'm like Stewie from Family Guy.
No, you're not.
This giant potato on I was gonna say on a toothpick, but that's not representative either, is it?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, come on. Certainly not a toothpick.
No, I think a lot of things that people have in common though is like I'm sure almost everyone has some sort of like about themselves, right? Like what they're self-conscious about. And it's like, do you have any tricks or anything that you like help people through their insecurities?
I do.
Ooh, tell me more.
I like to do, especially for like when I'm doing a family shoot, I really like to get the families in for like a wardrobe consultation, basically like a preparation, because I find that's usually what stresses people out the most is not knowing what to wear. So I have a wardrobe stocked full of like dresses and cute little clothes.
I saw that in the other room that you have kind of like a closet of
I
stuff.
keep adding to it. So if you see any cute
Mike
dresses,
thought that was
let me
your
know.
wardrobe though, for what you
it's
take
just
the
for
pictures
me.
in.
Yeah.
It'll look your best when you take a photo.
I just like all the sizes. Yeah, I love it. And then I'm slowly trying to get hair and makeup integrated too, because I feel like that's a good way for people. It's not to say that it's gonna like take away your insecurities, but I don't know, when you feel really good, right? Like,
well, when you feel fresh faced, then you feel a little bit more confident and shinier, right? So then it's like you feel better prepared for somebody as opposed to rolling out of bed. Like even right now, it's like it's not early anymore, but like I still feel like my face looks like a little morning tired. So it's like
you just feel more self-conscious, like but it's normal. Everybody feels that way.
Right.
Yeah.
So and what about like things like posture? I'm sure is like something you got to coach a lot on.
I do a lot of I'll pose you basically.
Right.
So I tend to I call the kids like the wild card, especially when we have little ones. Right. So I get mom and dad kind of more posed.
Fair.
They are so the wild cards.
Yes.
And then usually I try to like kind of coax them into getting we'll play games and stuff a lot of the time. Right. So running towards mom and dad. I have like stickers, I have bubbles. Bubbles are really fun.
Oh yeah.
Because I can get, dad to blow bubbles, and then it's like kind of magical too. The little ones are like trying to get the bubbles and attack them. And
it's like, so those are like genuine moments too.
Yeah.
Like that on its own, even if you weren't there and they were just having that moment, like that'd be a really beautiful moment for a family to enjoy together. So
and families are busy, right? So they don't always get the chance to do stuff like that. So it's kind of nice for it to be a special experience. Right. Because usually, I don't know, my family's busy all the time. So it's kind of a fun way to connect and stuff.
Tell us about your family. What have you got going on here in this house?
I got 2 little ones. Sam's 9, and you met Gabby.
Yes, we were greeted this morning by Gabby at the door.
No,
I met Sam.
I didn't meet Sam.
Yeah.
But Gabby said good morning to us every time we walked in the door.
Every
it was
single time.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's sweet.
She has a unicorn stuffed animal that has a light projector. Was showing me how it shows stars and stuff on the ceiling.
When did you see this?
I see things.
You got the tour, right?
I see things.
That thing, I love that thing, but she leaves it on at night, so then it's out of batteries by morning. So we've gone through so many batteries on that since Christmas.
You got to do like a Costco run each week for a pack of batteries.
We're just chewing through batteries. We got to find a way to get rechargeables or something. Maybe that would work. But yeah.
Interesting. Well, that's something I missed out on. I'll have to find a unicorn.
Yeah, we'll hook you up before we leave.
We've got a giant unicorn upstairs. We pretty much have everything unicorn here.
Maybe Rob needs one for his lighting rigs and stuff like that. Everyone
That'd be so great.
Everyone say hi, Rob.
How are
you?
How are you today?
Oh, we're wonderful. Thank you so much for coming in and getting everything all set up and ready for us to go this morning.
Glad to be here. Glad to help out.
Do you have any experience with photography? We know you have done videography.
Yeah, sure. I've done my share of both video and photos. More video, I suppose.
Yeah.
We should shoot weddings and sort of all the typical stuff. Quite a few years ago, back before I could sort of pare down all my gear to this sort of phone configuration, we used to do what we called live to DVD, and we would shoot children's programs with a multi-camera shoot,
like recitals and stuff.
Yeah, recitals,
plays and
talent shows, those kind of things. Anywhere where grandma and grandpa and all the aunts and uncles are in attendance, and the cameras would all feed a live DVD recorder. And then at the end of the show, we'd take that master recorded DVD and stick it in a duplicator and run off X number of copies and sell them, out in the lobby at the end of the show.
That's a good racket.
Yeah, so cool.
Well, it was really good because, you've got that kind of impulse to say grandma and grandpa and aunts and uncles are right there.
Well, the excitement's still there. Like they're hot on the heels of the show. So
yeah, for sure. So anyway, that was, that was a lot of fun, but not so much the photography. I've done a fair bit of photography back when I'm going to date myself a little bit here because people don't realize I'm this old. Back when we used to shoot on 35 millimeter film, and you had to send the roll of film away.
Oh yes,
yeah.
You got back a package of prints, and then you realized, oh, great, I missed that shot.
Half the roll is
nothing like today. I mean, we've talked about this before, but I mean, cameras and phones that we use for cameras can do so much today, and everything's totally instant, and you can just hold your finger on that button and it'll take 12 pictures in a row, and if you don't like them, you just delete them.
Or if you're me, you just keep them on your
phone. For 30,000 copies.
Yes, or you keep 30,000 of them. If you happen to be.
It sounds so much better in my head than when I say it out loud, actually.
Yeah, well, for sure. Anyway.
So you got some interesting experience as well.
Yeah, we've done all those kind of things for sure. But I'm enjoying the video end of it now.
Nice. Well, which actually brings me to a question. Like, have you always done digital photography, or have you ever done film photography?
So professionally, only digital.
Right.
But I did start on film.
Okay.
I actually kind of liked film.
I prefer film.
It's really fun. And it is like, it's probably not the best for photographing busy children though.
Right.
But
more landscapes and and nature and stuff like that.
We went on this documentary when I was like in college, and we went to El Paso. And we brought like our film cameras, and I have so many cool photos because the colors are like really vibrant. Like they have wall murals, and it was really fun, and all shot on film. And one of the guys that took my camera and borrowed it for part of the day, and he took the best photos. It was like when you said about the behind the scenes stuff that you do. Yeah, it was, and you didn't get to see them right away. Like you had to wait, and like I don't know, something kind of gratifying about that, like getting to. Because you put
so much work into it. So I worked at Black's Photography for a while when
That's so cool.
When I lived in Toronto. And before that I had a film SLR camera that I would just go for Toronto walks out by myself, put in some music and just go for a walk around town, and I would find interesting things that were just everyday little things around, and I would snap a photo of it. And before I worked at Black's Photography, it would be very much that like you think that one photo turned out so well and you're so excited to see it, and it's so gratifying when you open that pack and you pull it out and it's better than what you even thought it was.
So exciting. Like when it rains and you go out after it rains and everything's so
shiny
colorful.
And the lights are hitting the street at night and stuff like that. Oh my god, yeah. So I do there's something very magical about film, because then almost like when you go to digital, I found when I bought my digital SLR that it was, because you can snap, take a million things, that like it takes, I don't want to say it takes the challenge out of it. I guess it depends on what you're taking a photograph of. But like you don't have to think as straight, like as clearly as you might have wanted to.
It's like, it's good in one way because you'll experiment more. Right. So like you'll try new things. Like I find, like I love digital because I'll try anything. It doesn't matter if it's like...
The stakes aren't as high.
The stakes aren't as high, but with film, you're more thoughtful about, I think, your composition, I've found.
Right.
So that's something that like you kind of have to remind yourself and slow down with film, with digital as opposed to film. But that's cool. That's like really like the idea of you like wandering around Toronto taking pictures. It's like, that sounds amazing.
That's my favorite thing to do too. I like the cemeteries.
Yes.
Yeah.
My daughter loves cemeteries. I was going to tell you this story.
Really?
So she just randomly asked to go to the cemetery.
I like this kid.
I thought of you right away when she said it. She's like, hey, do you want to go to... She called it the graveyard, which I was like, well, we should probably not call it that because it sounds kind of grim.
Did you know there's a difference between a graveyard and a cemetery?
No.
Yes. A graveyard is attached to a church.
Oh.
A cemetery is its own entity.
Okay, so there's nothing. I don't need to take graveyard as grim sounding. It's just a technical term.
It's the cemetery that's on the property of a church.
I have never known. That's new.
You're welcome.
Cool. Yeah,
everyone.
Yeah. So when I worked at Black's, we would. This was during a time where film was still a thing. Like digital was kind of the way to go. So we had the kiosk things, but there was very much still like a thriving film need. And in the neighborhood that our Black's Photography was in, it was kind of a retirement neighborhood. So there was a lot of, seniors and stuff. And so it would be a lot of pictures of gardens and birthday parties and cats. And
so cool.
So it was like cute, but it was like you kind of knew what you're getting. It wasn't very like exciting photography.
It's kind of sweet though at the same time. You're like, like you could just, it's a sea of
when
like
little Martha would come in and you're like, oh, you got new garden pictures, Martha? Like, oh, and they're so proud. They are so proud, right?
Did you ever slip your own photograph into the package like George?
I did not.
You really should have.
Mike's trying to pick up, puts his own little boudoir photo, and poor Ethel looking through her cats like, what is this?
So have you ever done anything video-wise, like with yourself? Like, did you ever like shoot a wedding or anything with video?
No, we did. So when I was in college, we did a few films, like documentaries.
Right.
We shot those on like 16 mil film. I can't even believe that was still around then. And we had like the you had to like put your hands in this bag to like change the film reel
Yeah.
out, like,
Because you don't want to expose the film before
That was really stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I preferred the audio side of things when I was on that because I was like, oh, the pressure of like changing that out. But as far as video goes, I think after Rogers, I was pretty much totally into just doing still stuff. You know what really did it for me? This is kind of weird, but there was these abandoned buildings in Woodstock, and I used to love on my lunch break, I'd go home and I'd get my camera and I'd go around and take pictures of like, there was this old factory on Tecumseh.
Okay.
I'd love to take pictures of that. I have like a bunch of like kind of boring photos of stuff on Tecumseh. And then there's the old OH. I did a bunch of photos in there.
Right.
Just, I don't know.
Because those houses, we've talked about are you talking like the ORC? And
yeah.
So there used to be the cottages. We've talked about them because like where I live is like on that land right now. But they were like they were spooky looking places, but so interesting.
They were really interesting. Yeah. So I don't know. I think that, and then obviously it's kind of cringy to look back at those photos now because you're like, it's so like cliched, like, oh, the building, the abandoned.
You're not kidding. Yeah, there's something to that.
Yeah.
But what a great way to practice though, and to fine tune your skills. Right. That's why I started with pets.
Yeah.
Like the cat's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
The cat's going to lie there for 18 hours while you take all the different angles of the cat. Like it's a perfect way to practice.
Well, and when there's no pressure, like you don't have people there. Because like I'm sure if you're starting off with photography and you're like, my goal is to get into portraits, it's like that can be pretty, like you got to get comfortable with what it is you can do. Mm-hmm. So going out and doing those things. Now, same thing, like when I would go on my Toronto walk, same thing. It's like, oh, I thought I was so cool when I took that picture. And it's like, okay, Mike. But what I like about it now is like 10 years later or whatever, I look at those and it takes me exactly back to that moment. I remember where I was standing. I remember how I was feeling. Everything that was in that moment when I snapped that shot, it comes right back.
Is it like you're not even in the photo, but like it takes you back? Yeah,
because that was my vision. That was my view.
Yeah,
but isn't that the point of art?
Yeah,
is to encapsulate a moment in time.
Yeah,
no matter what the medium
of
art is, medium is. Yeah, like whether it's a song or a photo or a poem or just whatever. Right?
Sure.
It's interesting. You're absolutely right.
Because I think about. I took pictures of everything growing up. And I have photo albums each year, like from like grade 6 onwards.
Like scrapbooks almost, or like...
Yeah, but there weren't any...
Like it's just an actual photo album.
Yeah, photo album. And I would take so many pictures. And, you know, the Walmart photo place got so much of my money and so did Black's.
Right.
And I couldn't wait to get home and I would cut out the pictures too. And so I would put them all on almost like a scrapbook before scrapbooking even started, right? So now I can go back and look at, okay, 1998. This is everything that happened in the year of 1998. Right. And I had documented everything. And as much as I love my iPhone, and I love my phone, I find now I've got 39,000 pictures on my phone and I haven't printed one in probably 5 years.
Yeah.
And that makes me kind of sad that at some point, my little documentary of my life cuts off as soon as digital starts.
That's honestly why I print for clients, because it's I went through a period where I didn't, mostly because I was just starting out. I didn't really know the house. I didn't know how to make that happen for people, and now I print. Like pretty much, I'd say 90% of the people that come to me have their stuff printed either in a book or they have pictures put on their wall.
Right.
Because it's like, it's true. Like my kids, like I have lots of pictures of them when they were little, but it's true. Like I don't really have as many printed of them.
Yeah.
And I should do that actually.
Well, then also you probably take so many that it's like, which ones do I print? Like you're almost spoiled for choice sometimes, and it's hard to do that.
That's true. Yeah.
And so you do print for some of your clients. You print. You also do framing.
Yes.
So that's like a special request that people can put in for.
It's most people do framing. Yeah.
And you'll go to their home and actually put it up for them.
Install it. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. It's just so much easier because that's like the one thing people hate doing.
Wow, really?
Well, they wouldn't necessarily have the same artistic vision that you would have for what your board would look like.
And we designed it all in advance, so they don't have to guess. Like we'll have like a little piece of software, and we can just like kind of put it on the screen and figure it out. Yeah.
What a great service to offer! Because how many times you just get the envelope with your your prints, and then okay, thanks.
Or even
for
just
your
a thumb
business.
drive here. See you later.
Yeah, I used to do that, and it was like I thought that's what you do, but people.
Well, and I think that's what people expect, right? Like that's what I would expect when I show to a place. So the fact that there were options to do other things, I think is really cool. Yeah. What other services do you offer? So you do like family shoots?
Yeah, newborn is probably the type of session that I do the most of.
Okay. Which I'm guessing is probably fairly easy because they're still so little and like it's so pretty easy to model.
They don't talk back as much.
No.
Yeah. They cry though, so you have to get them. But I find like I keep it warm. Not right now, it's a little chilly in here, but I usually keep it pretty toasty.
Right.
I have white noise going.
Oh, nice.
Laurie would fall right to sleep.
I'd never get off your couch. She has the lowest little couch ever.
It's perfect for kids though, right? Because I can hold on to it and cruise it. Yeah, it's not so good for grown-ups. Yeah, so
people like me. I'm like, I live here now, Rachel. Sorry.
It's a very long couch.
So you do family portraits. What other things do you do?
I do meadow sessions, I call them. So we'll go out to like my favorite meadow.
Okay.
And we'll go like right at sunset when it's all dreamy and so fun. We just kind of like mess around and play, and like we'll play games. Sometimes we'll just chat and take pictures. It's really fun to do it, and I look forward to it every summer because I get to go hang out like at sunset and down by my favorite location.
Well, and I think that's pretty incredible because to you that's a regular, right? Like it's like I'm just going to my other office in a way and going to do this stuff. But the fact that you get excited about it is pretty cool because I'm sure that's infectious, and it means that the people you're working with kind of feel your excitement too, right? So then they get a little.
We're just all pretty excited about it. Yeah.
Well, and then so that's the photo shoot I was saying that my brother had with you and his family would have been a meadow shoot.
So we actually went to like a farm location and there was horses, and that was amazing. I wish I could just like, hey, do you mind if I just like come here for all my shoots?
Now, was that something that like, do you have people say, can you come to our farm and do this? Or they're like, well, where can you take us? And you have a few suggestions.
Well, a lot of people don't always know where to go. So I find I tend to just choose spots for them because it's hard to know what's going to look good in a picture because people have an idea of what might look good, but there might be parts about the location that aren't ideal. Like it might look pretty in person. There's one spot in Woodstock that it is so pretty, like down at Southside Park, but it's the types of photos that I do, they don't always look the best in that location, even though the location is beautiful. But
interesting.
That's lighting and stuff isn't necessarily quite how I would do it.
And the lighting is everything.
Lighting is everything. It's not to say it wouldn't look good, because there's lots of different styles of photography, but because I do like a lot of candids and stuff, it's like running around and running through the grass and stuff. So
you see somebody's car in the background.
Actually that is the thing, like or the power line sometimes, you see those. So so a lot of people just are like, will you just pick for us, because they're usually pretty busy.
And they should trust your eye anyway, right?
Usually most people do, yeah. I do have the odd request to go to like a location special to people though too, and I'll definitely do that.
What's the weirdest place you've ever been?
Oh my gosh, that's a good question.
Or the one at least that stands out the most in your mind, like I would never have thought of coming here.
Location. Oh my gosh, I did this for like 5-6 years. We would go downtown Woodstock in the alleys and take pictures of like mommy and me sessions. Okay. We did this, me and my sister, who's also a photographer, we did this for years, and like people would be kind of creeped out. They're like, we did it during Street Fest, so it was like already busy. Right. And the alleyways were, like there was lots of people in them. Right. But we do have some beautiful graffiti and artwork. Beautiful. They're the butterfly. Yes. There's the one right behind the art gallery. I was going to say, behind Merrifields is really cool. The vintage, like. And behind Floral Buds, kind of near the Dickens and stuff in that back lot, they have so butterfly on their wall back there, I believe, too. And Theater Woodstock is like a great spot. Like, it's crazy.
Yes, it is. We couldn't agree more. Theater Woodstock is a great spot.
When I worked at the theater, I would often come out on my lunch break and stuff, and there would be weddings shooting on it. Like I would come out the doors, and there were people literally. I'm in their photo now because they're outside our door on the side there. So yeah, Woodstock has some really beautiful areas. Such a nice spot downtown. Yeah, I think with the history and stuff too, it's nice. And it can be like something that kind of looks like you think, oh, that looks kind of ugly. It's just like a brick wall, but it can look really nice. Right. Like if you just blur the background, it's just the colors are there. So yeah, that's probably the weirdest, but it's not really that weird, is it?
We should do a Halloween shoot in a cemetery.
Oh my gosh.
Dressed up like a witch or something. Just
totally, you should do that. Have you seen the pumpkin head ones people do?
Yes.
Yeah, they're
Pumpkin
really cute.
heads.
You carve a pumpkin, put it on your head.
Yeah, I think they must Photoshop it or something, but
Oh.
maybe not.
I
I
would carve
mean,
a
we
pumpkin
should
and slap
probably
it on my
be
head.
purists and like totally do the actual pumpkin.
Well, I got a couple on my porch still right now from,
You mean pour those on your head?
Yeah.
Oh,
they're looking rough.
it's
It's
time.
getting time.
I show up to a photo shoot with a giant zit on my forehead. You helping me with that?
I would totally help
Thank
with that.
you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Can I help you with it first? You
You
know how much I love Dr. Pimple Popper.
Oh, we do
Me
know.
too.
Yes.
Oh, are you too? Oh, the three of us.
I'm
then.
one of those sick. Oh, you like it too?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. So good. So
Yeah.
relaxing.
It's so. I'm
Sometimes it's
disgusted
not
in myself,
relaxing. Yeah, I know.
but I'm
Like,
not
why
going
do
to
you
stop.
love
Rob's
this?
gagging behind the.
Yeah.
You're not one of
Three
us,
against
Rob.
one, Rob.
I understand you also do like headshot photos.
I do, yes.
So like, I'm sure that's great, obviously, because what I love about our community is there's so many young people that are into performances and stuff like that that often go off to school, and they're going to need stuff like headshots and that. So they can book a session with you to get that done.
They're really fun. I do them like a little bit differently than most people. I don't do traditional headshots per se.
Right.
But I try to do ones that like show off your personality a little bit more.
Okay.
Relaxed
Uh-oh.
posing.
Uh-oh.
Personality to spare. Yeah, so I think it's fun because I get to meet like lots of local business owners too that I wouldn't normally get to meet.
Right. I think acting, but yeah, like you're going to want one, especially for like LinkedIn profiles and stuff.
Yeah,
You're going to want like
corporate
a
stuff, yeah.
photo
Or like
of
on their
yourself.
Instagram, people put pictures up and talk about themselves so you can get to know the business owner more. And
Or like on a business card or something.
Yeah.
Or like, for real estate agents. Oh my God. I don't think you can sell a house unless you got a face.
I
think that's
so many real estate agents that come to
I
me.
know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They're so fun.
interesting. So there's kind of like, you got a nice variety of different photography, and you said your sister also does too. So like, it's kind of a bit of a family affair. You guys don't work together, but you do your own things?
Yeah, she doesn't do photography anymore. But for a good period of time, we used to work together on all sorts of stuff. And
That's fun.
It was really fun. Yeah.
Unless you like get along. Because I don't know, if my brother and I tried to do, I don't know if
Really?
we would be able to work well together. It's hard to say.
We were like, I know what you mean. Like it's because you have your own way of doing things,
Especially
right?
creatively. Like,
Creative
Yeah.
stuff. We have two very different styles, so it ended up not being a big issue. And we would do events together a lot of the time. And sometimes, like if she needed someone to assist her, I would come and help, and vice versa.
Right.
Because sometimes it's twins, like a twin session.
Oh,
It's like you just need an extra set of hands to
just to like,
hold the baby.
yeah.
Because so
You just set it down.
yeah, just put the baby over here.
Fine. What do I do? What do I do?
What am I supposed to do?
This motherhood was never in my wheelhouse. Sorry.
So today we are going to do a little photo shoot with you, aren't we?
Yes, we
This is
are.
very exciting. So we're in your studio today. So we're going to do indoor photography. And we're going to do a little bit of the three of us, and I think it's fun stuff. So here's what's going to happen is for our podcast listeners, we are going to put out on our social media kind of what this photo shoot looks like. We're going to share with you guys a little bit. And if you're watching on a video platform, you're going to be able to just stay tuned. It's coming at the end of this. But make sure you check out our socials and kind of get a glimpse into what a photo shoot with Rachel is like. But I really want to thank you. I'm going to take the time now to thank you so much for having us today, because I've had a really great time getting to chat with you.
It's been fun.
Yeah, you got great energy about you.
Oh,
And like, here is nice. And I know you would bring that through your work as well too, and make people feel welcome and at ease, especially here in your home. So thank you so much for your generosity in having us over and taking this opportunity with us. So we're going to say...
Love you, Rachel.
You're full of kisses today.
Well, I'm full of something today.
So we are going to take this moment to say goodbye, but stick around and check out our next video where we're going to share the shoot. But
Share the shoot.
Share the shoot.
to everyone, thank you so much for coming out and joining Laurie, Rachel, and I out for coffee, and we hope to see you again soon on Out for Coffee.
With Mike and Laurie. And Rachel.
I just curious.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know we were recording.
So
I thought my dog had
Do you have questions, comments, or ideas for a future show? Reach out to Mike and Laurie on their social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or email them at mikeandlauriesocials@gmail.com.